It's been 20 years since the release of the Pokémon Emerald. This game is nostalgic for so many people and often considered as one of the best Pokémon game in the franchise, even today. I'm a longtime Pokémon fan who loved Gen 1 and 2, but I have actually never played Generation 3 before. Back in 2005, I was just 11 years old kid with no girlfriend, and I had tons of time to play video games because both of my parents were working and came home late, and my grandmother loved watching me smiling when I'm playing video game. Did I not have Game Boy Advance? I had it. This is the Game Boy SP I had since when I was a kid. I loved it so much, I was carrying this everywhere I go. Alright then, why the hell did I not just play Pokemon Gen 3? It's simple. Generation 3 wasn't released in Korea. We skipped 3rd generation. Around the world, people called Gen 3 was a masterpiece, the peak of the franchise. But in Korea, the Pokemon popularity looks like this. The Gen 3 is absolute bottom that no one even knew that it exists. Everyone, even my mom, knows this Pokemon. But this one right here? No one had any idea who this is. That's pretty much what Gen 3 means in Korea, a generation that no one loves. And today, I am here to finally play Pokémon Emerald for the first time. But I want to do this right. I want my first Gen 3 experience to be the ultimate experience. I'm going to complete the Living Dex, which means I'm gonna collect one of the every single Pokemon and store them into PC. Not just catching one and evolving. No matter how long it takes or how much it costs, I'll catch them all in as legit as possible. No emulators. On top of that, I will also beat every single faculties in Battle Frontier with my favorite Pokemon. There will not gonna be any best Pokemon to beat Battle Tower stuff. My favorite Pokemon will become the best Pokemon. Now it's finally time to start, and I'll just say one thing. After all the compliments and the praise that this game received, now I have high standard on this game, and this game better be good. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Game begins with Professor Birch giving speech about the Pokemon world, just like the previous 2 generations. But as soon as the game started, something caught my attention. This Pokemon right here, it looked really cute. I look up the Pokédex to see what it evolves to later, and wow, it becomes a dancing pineapple duck. I like this, and even before the game start, I already know who's my second entry in my member. After I named character, I noticed something. I don't get to choose name for my rival, but I knew what was about to happen. Maybe I will face some criminal guy and name him later. Our adventure begins in the back of the moving truck, which is a bit weird place to start, but after hopping off the truck, Mom tells us about the status where we are. After moving in, set up the clock, I hear that I actually have a dad in this game, and he's a gym leader. My mom said, go say hi to neighbor, and I first talked to the neighbor, say hi, and the girl here now lets me go. And the Professor Birch was attacked by a long dog. This was the time to pick the starting Pokemon. I know Professor is being attacked in the background real time, but as you know, picking starter usually takes quite a bit of time. But lucky for you, Professor, the choice here wasn't very hard. The moment I saw the opening animation, I already knew which start Pokemon I'd pick. Chicken. The way how this chicken walks was really cute, and it's fire. Based on the Pokédex, this chicken will become a fire fighting chicken in the end. Amazing. It sounds really cool. Soon after that, I have the first battle with the rival. And of course I win, and I get a Pokédex. And the adventure finally begins. And then something really amazing happened. Mom gives a running shoes, and I loved it. This one was really big for me, and I'm not saying this because I can play game faster. If you ask me what I hated the most in Generation 1 and 2, my answer is not about the glitch or level design or anything like that. For me, it was the bicycle. As everyone know, walking in Pokemon game is really slow, and the bike speed is amazing. It's really fast. But the problem that I had was when I get on a bike, the only soundtrack, the music I hear is bicycle music. It's not that I hate those music, but I love the music from the different towns and different routes so much that I even often just not use bike and walk around the Pokemon world to listen to music while playing the game. That's why I really appreciate these running shoes. On the Route 101 and 102, I have some battles, catch Pokemon, of course, including the Lotad, who I like, and we get to the first town. One more thing I noticed was this game is beautiful. My Pokemon adventure started from Pokemon Blue, and when I first started playing Pokemon Yellow, I thought this was colorful. Then when I first started playing Pokemon Gold, I realized that this is the real colorful game. Gen 3 on the other hand, I think colorful is not the right word, but rather it's beautiful. Maybe it's because I'm the old gamer who really loves this pixel art game style over the modern game style, but what I can tell is I really love these arts in the game, and I loved it. When I enter the gym and I have the family conversation with my dad, a random boy just walked in and say he wants to get a Pokemon out of nowhere. His name is Wally and he's going to different town, so he wanted to get a Pokemon to not feel lonely. I thought helping this little boy here is just a tutorial of showing how to catch Pokemon to new players, just like how Gen 2 had some similar thing. I helped Wally catching a Pokemon, seems like he liked it and he walked away. After I visit Wally's house, talk to his parents, I hear that Wally has been sick since when he was a baby and he's living to different town because air there is a lot cleaner and they were just hoping his status gets better. At this point, I felt good about helping out the kid who was having a hard time. However, I didn't realize helping out the Wally was a mistake until the later game, because Wally became the most disrespectful trainer I have ever seen in my Pokemon trainer life. I head to the next town, catch new Pokemon, go over the forest before the first gym, just like the previous game, and in the forest, I first encountered Team Aqua, but that Team Aqua's music was really great. I liked it. After beating Team Aqua, I spent a little more time in the forest to catch some Pokemon, and my chicken evolved into the fighting chicken. Then we arrived to the Rustboro City. First gym battle was easy because fighting chicken just used the double kick and it was super effective to everyone. And that's how we got the first batch. On Route 116, I spent some time catching Pokemon and get to the cave to beat the Team Aqua once again and help the grandfather here. On the way, I saw the trees that I could use cut to cut them down, but I didn't have the HM yet. So I was thinking Generation 3 will gonna give me the cut HM in the later game. There will gonna be a point where I gonna get blocked by this tree, and that's the time when I gonna get the HM. Now at the time of the recording, I know this was a big mistake because even at the 30 hours mark, I still couldn't get cut HM and I became champion later. After that, I came back to Route 116 because I saw that there's a cat Pokemon here, Skitty. What I didn't check and what I should have done is checking the spawn rate because this Pokemon had just 2% encounter rate and I didn't know that. While looking for the cat, my fire chicken already became level 20 and I didn't want my first playthrough to become using over-leveled Pokemon to just one-shot everything, so I had to train another Pokemon here. That's how my Lotad evolved at level 15, and when he was at level 18, I was finally able to see the cat, and I moved to the next destination. I got a mission from the president of the Devon company. I had a feeling that completing this quest will gonna give me the Master Ball because, you know, he's the president and presidents I knew were pretty generous enough to give me the Master Ball when I helped them in the past. So this became my first priority and I was on my way to the quest. Then I saw the rival. We registered each other on the phone and he asked me if I want to have the Pokemon battle. What? I mean, what else do you do when you face rival? Of course, don't even ask me next time. His Pokemon was not even evolved yet, so his starting Pokemon was nothing more than a potion to me. Rival tells us that the grandfather who I helped was a great sailor, and yes, I came to the right place. He helped us get to the next destination. I know the reason why I came here is to deliver the letter to Steven, but first thing first, I saw a gym. This means it's time to get other gym badge first. Pokemon in the second gym was a fighting type Pokemon gym, and my flying fire chicken used flying move to rule them all, and I was able to get second gym badge. After that, I go to the cave and deliver the letter to Steven. We also catch new Pokemon here, and there was a really cool Pokemon that I saw, Sableye. This Pokemon's design looks simple and yet so cool. This Pokemon deserved a spot on my Hall of Fame. He's my third Pokemon now. Since I completed the quest from the President, I went back to the Rustboro City, complete the first quest, because I thought it was gonna be a change of the quest for the Master Ball, but I got the EXP share, which is also a really good item, and something I didn't expect to get this early on. I needed to deliver another package, so I head to the next town, and I saw that the Team Aqua was lining up in front of the museum, and one of them was casually playing Game Boy. I feel like they're not too bad guys, I guess. As soon as I thought maybe they're not too bad, they start causing some problems, like 2 seconds later. After handling the grunts, team leader showed up and talked about some stuffs, but since I'm just a kid here who doesn't really care much, they were okay with that and they just left. After delivering the package, I was done with this town because it did not have a gym. I went to the north, I catch some new Pokemon, including the Plus and Minus Pikachu, and I met the Trick Master in Hoenn. Well, what he didn't know is I didn't have the cut yet, so I could do nothing and I just left. Soon after, I met the rival once again. This time he finally evolved his Pokemon, but what he didn't know is my Pokemon leveled up so much after looking for a 2% cat. Then I was able to get to the new town, and of course I headed to the gym as the first thing. In front of the gym, I met the Wally again. Last time I saw him, he was like, "Can I please have the Pokemon?" And this time it's like, "Can I please challenge this gym?" Like, kid, like gym battles are no joke. Wally was so confident that he thinks he can beat anyone, and then I'm not sure why he just looked at me like that, and I had no choice but teach him a lesson. When I beat up the Wally, he wasn't really saying much and he was saying lots of dots. Wally seemed a little depressed and decided to go back home. I mean, come on, did you really think you could beat me so easily without even evolving Pokemon? And those dots or periods, it belonged to someone else, not to you. After beating up the Wally, I walked into the gym and I got the badge. I also got access to bike. He asked me between the fast bike and some control bike. Of course, I want the fast bike, so I got that. Since the next path was blocked by the rocks, I met the Rock Smash dude and got the Rock Smash. With this, I was able to get to the next town. Verdun Turf Town. This town is where the Wally is, but before anything, there's something I have to say first. I love the music here. This music is so peaceful and yet beautiful. I didn't say much about the musics yet, but I really love the lots of musics in Gen 3 already, and this one really stood out. No wonder why Wally came to this town to take some rest. In this town, I said hi to Wally, and I used Rock Smash to help the boyfriend and girlfriend to see each other every day. And I got Strengths HM as a gift. My HM collection was growing, except I still haven't gotten the cut yet and make me question where the hell is it. I had to leave this beautiful town behind and continue the adventure. I meet the reporters along the way. I see a castle in the middle of desert. For some reason I couldn't get to it, so I just come back later. When I was on the way, I also entered Route 113, which was covered by Volcano Sash. It seems like there were lots of kids playing around it for some reason. I hope they're okay. And also I caught some Pokemon here, including the Spinda. This Pokemon looked really fun. After passing Route 113, I arrived at a new town, which did not have a gym, but they gave me a hint about where the Team Magma is. When I finally arrived at the meadow floor, and another great music started. And there were Team Magma and Team Aqua doing some of their stuff. Well, at least they told me where they're heading next. On my way to the mountain, I faced these two random trainers and I met a really cool Pokemon, Zangoose. Wow, this Pokemon looked really cool and I really wanted to have this Pokemon as my next entry member. But the problem was I wasn't so sure where to catch this Pokemon. You know, if I say it, I'll use him. When I got to the mountain, I got onto the cable car, arrived at the top. And wow, Team Magma and Team Aqua were having some dog fights on here. And when I talked to the Team Magma leader, he got really angry and we start having Pokemon battle. Of course I won, and I personally think I like Team Aqua's music more. After picking up the meteorite, I was spending some time catching Pokemon and my fire chicken finally evolved into the final form. A flying fire fighting chicken. Well, he doesn't look like chicken anymore, but he looks spicy. Our adventure continues and I arrived to the next town, which has a gym. Right after getting the gym badge, the rival showed up. Wow, I liked it. He's finally acting like a true rival, picking the worst time to show up. Turns out this rival here just wanted to give me the go Google and didn't want to fight. I wasn't even sure if he's the real rival in this game or not at this point, but you know, the go Google, it sounds good. I straight went to the desert, I catch new Pokemon, and I went to the castle. On the way, I caught Trapinch. This one looked weird, but when I look up the Pokédex, the final evolution is a Dragon type, which looked pretty cool. I mean, I like dragons, except Dragonite, so I decided to train this Pokemon as my next entry member. Oh, and there's one more thing, Sandrew. Just wow, this sprite in the Gen 3 was so cool, it's so cute. It looks really cute, but since it's Gen 1 Pokemon, I couldn't really use him as my entry member because I already used him on my Gen 1 playthrough. On top of the castle, I got the fossil, and the castle just disappeared. I think that's pretty much it. It's time to go all the way back to challenge the dad. After I challenged Dad, I realized I was better than Dad at this point, but Dad got really surprised that he lost to me. And again, when we were having the family talk, Wally's father just walked in casually and just took me to his house. He seemed like a close friend with Dad and everything finally made sense to me. Wally's father told me how I made Wally's family happy and he gave me a bribe, Surf. The HM that I was waiting from the beginning because I'm pretty sure I saw something interesting when I was on the ship. Yes, that's right. Abandoned ship. Turns out there wasn't really much here, but I see lots of people who knew the surf came here and looking for some treasure. After that, I noticed the gym leader was just standing outside. Seems like he had some favor to ask. He wanted me to go to the basement, turn off the switch. No problem, I did it. And when I was on my way to the next town, it started raining. And I caught new Pokemon along the way. It seemed like the heavy rain was due to the Team Aqua doing some stuff on the weather institution. So I went in and fixed the problem. The people in the institution gave me a cast form Pokemon for free. So that's good. The next town was pretty interesting. People were living inside of the trees. Everything was so cool except that I couldn't get to the gym because of some invincible war. Soon after, I met the Steven again and he gave me the Devon Scope, which lets us see the things in Invincible. Before I head to the gym in town, two things happened. First, my ground Pokemon finally evolved to the Dragon Pokemon. And second, I encountered Absol. This Absol looked amazing. He looked so cool, so of course I used him. And did you know that Absol can learn Thunder? That's right, Absol becomes my electric Pokemon from this point. Next gym leader looks like she's sleeping, but most of her Pokemon were weak against fire, so of course my chicken dominates everything, and I was able to get the badge. Then I got to the Lily Cove town. Another town with great music. Here, I saw the rival was guarding the department store, and when I talked to him, he asked me if I want to have battle. Of course I do, you shouldn't even ask. And of course I won. I was hoping this department store to sell the evolution stones, just like Gen 1, but turns out it's more like Gen 2, where it doesn't sell the evolution stones. Pretty sad. All I wanted was just get the Ludicolo because he looks really cool. Lily Cove Town was a hideout place for Team Aqua, and there are these two grunts. They're really nice guys, I love them. When I talk to them, they just tell me where I should go next. When I got to the Mountain Pyre, I noticed that it's pretty much the Pokemon Tower. A place where people come thinking about the Pokemon they lost, and a place where I could catch lots of ghost-type Pokemon. On top of the mountain, Team Aqua's leader stored a red orb and just ran away. I wasn't sure where to go next, so I went back to the Team Aqua's hideout to get some advice. And of course, I heard that I need to go to another mountain. Thanks. I looked at the map, I went to the mountain pretending like I'm the Team Magma's grunt, and saw that the Team Magma was trying to use the blue stone to control the legendary Pokemon Groudon. However, seems like Groudon didn't like the blue stone and Team Magma just failed to control the legendary Pokemon. So where do I go next? I don't know. Of course, the grunts from the Team Aqua helped me. They helped me to chase down their own leader. Finally. It's finally time to really go to their hideout for actual reason. I was just trying to find a way to the leader, but I somehow got Master Ball from the hideout. Why is Master Ball just sitting in Team Aqua's hideout without any guards or anything? I had no idea, but I'm not gonna complain. Master Ball is Master Ball. Leader escaped me using the submarine, but it was cool. I mean, thanks for the Master Ball. I was chasing down the leader using Surf and arrived at a new town that has a gym. I feel like it's been a while since the last gym, so I was really happy. I defeated the Psychic Twins and I got the gym badge. And after the gym battle, my dragon finally evolved into the Flygon. Yay! Since I got the gym badge and I was pretty happy, I went to the Space Center where Team Magma was doing some stuff. It seems like they went crazy after they couldn't control the Groudon, so I stopped that with Steven. Steven reminded me about the lens from the Gen 2, but thanks to the double battle system, I could actually fight with Steven and see what Pokemon he's using. It seems like he's using blue turtle Pokemon, which didn't look too bad. After we take care of Team Magma together, Steven gave me a HM dive, and I knew where to go as soon as I got this HM. Abandoned ship. I remember I saw the dark blue color here, and I used the dive. I was able to get the water stone, and I finally evolved to Ludicolo, a really cool dancing pineapple duck. My favorite Gen 3 Pokemon Dream Team was almost here. I also love the diving mechanic. It introduced the new layers of the exploration. Using dive, I was able to find the submarine which Team Aqua used. I solved some puzzles which took me some time, and I was finally get to the leader, who also failed to control Kyogre using red orb. I'm not sure why they don't check the colors before using or read instructions clearly, but it's what it is. Now Hoenn is in danger, leaders have no idea what to do. Steven came and told us where to go, so we went to the town that was hidden under the water. We could see the two legendary Pokemon were fighting each other. It was pretty cool. Steven introduced Wallace to us. He said we should go to Sky Pillar right away, and he just disappeared without even telling us where the hell that is. Alright. I'm not sure what you think when you see legendary Pokemon fighting each other, but to me, I was thinking how cool would it be if I fish between the legendary Pokemon and I get a shiny Pokemon. So around here, I was around 18 hours in, and I spent next 4 hours shiny hunting, hoping I get something shiny between the legendary Pokemon. What I realized is shiny hunting with fishing is really hard, that I had to time it, click multiple times to get the first encounter. In the end, after 4 hours, I gave up, but now I have huge respect to anyone out there who's having a shiny fish. It's not an easy shiny hunt, that's what I can tell. I was able to find Skypillar, and the Wallace just left, telling me that I need to take care of everything and save Hoenn region. Alright. On top of the tower, I was able to see Rayquaza, the long green dragon legendary Pokemon. And when I got back to the town, the animation begins. The Rayquaza descended from the sky, stopping Groudon and Kyogre going crazy. What I really liked on this is it shows how powerful and amazing the legendary Pokemon are. When I saw this, of course I thought it's really cool, but I also felt a little jealous because from Generation 1, I didn't even know that the 3 legendary birds are even legendary because those birds were just sitting there and I had no idea who they are and I ended up killing them when I was a kid. Mewtwo on the other hand, I could tell it's very special, so I used Master Ball. I think if they did something similar to this, those birds look pretty cool, I guess. Gen 2 was a little bit better, but not as much as this. So now that everything's settled down, I got HM Waterfall as a gift, which made the complete HM list except the cut, of course, which I kind of gave up at this point, and I challenged the gym, and I got the last badge. Using the Waterfall, I got to the Evergrande City, a place for the Victory Road and then the Elite Four. Soon after I entered the Victory Road, I met the Wally here, the place where I didn't expect him to make. And I had the most disrespectful Pokemon battle I have ever had in my life. Wally decided to use Dragon Dance 4 times straight. I know about the buff up and sweeping everything strategy. I know it's valid strategy, but maybe 2 Dragon Dance could have been enough, but Wally just pressed Dragon Dance 4 times, 4 straight times. Can you believe that? It's like Wally just watched some YouTube video sweeping entire party after stacking Dragon Dance 4 times or something and trying that on me. I was looking Wally as a kid who was sick since baby. He became happy after catching a Pokemon and get some confidence, but this is not what I expected. I mean, how did you even get here? It's the Victory Road, a place where people who collected 8 badges can only enter. I had so much question about Wally, but that's fine. After Victory Road, I was able to get to the front of the Elite Four, but I realized my Pokemon levels were a little low to challenge Elite Four, so I went back to the Victory Road for training. I'm pretty sure there's a better ways to train faster, but I was hoping for some random shiny Pokemon here, and I spent hours and hours until my Pokemon are trained enough. I also added minus Pikachu to entry because I couldn't find Zangoose, so I had a spot on my party, so I thought electric Pokemon could help. Between the plus and minus, I had to pick one, and I thought the blue fits better to my team because I already had a fire Pokemon and green Pokemon in my entry. Of course, I didn't see any shiny Pokemon while training, but I'm not surprised. I was ready to challenge the Elite Four. Elite Four weren't too bad. They made me use some revives and lots of potion, and I had to show my Sableye is better. Now it was a time. Champion battle against the Wallace. This battle was pretty tough, even though I had 2 electric Pokemon. I had to use revive and potion so many times. Champion was strong, I'll give you that. But thanks to all the items I prepared, I could win and become the champion. When the rival walked in, I got really scared because most of my Pokemon were fainted and I didn't want to become like someone who was holding the champion title for just 2 minutes and lose it. Thankfully, rival did not challenge me and I was able to register my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon to Hall of Fame. I know what I have completed so far is very little bit in the Gen 3, like 10% I guess. And to achieve my ultimate Gen 3 experience, becoming champion is nothing more than a first step, but it's my first time playing Emerald, and the experience I had was amazing. My favorite things about the Gen 3 so far were the musics, the Pokemon sprites, and the pixel arts, the feeling of adventure, and showing how powerful the legendary Pokemon are. I also wasn't so sure if I could pick 6 favorite Gen 3 Pokemon in the beginning, but there were so many new Pokemon that I ended up liking in the end. My next adventure is completing the Gen 3 Living Dex and complete all the Battle Tower faculties using my favorite Pokemon. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.